ready for the weekend. And yeah, today's kind of an interesting topic, and we're looking at moving beyond labels because that's clearly what Jesus is trying to do here in this particular part of the Gospel of John, chapter 9. And again, yesterday we had talked about how these weren't written in chapters. It's not like, John finished up one chapter. He's like, now time for chapter 9. He just wrote out his thoughts, and then later on we broke those into chapters. And so we can gain great insight when we just read through it straight through, and we start to see how all these different stories line up, because inevitably one is connected to the other, which you kind of can miss if you're reading it just chapters. So it's a really it's a really interesting one today, and this is one that is just fascinating to me. So the context, if you weren't on yesterday, was Jesus is with his disciples. His disciples are his 12 followers. They come to a blind man who's begging at, no doubt at the gates of the city. And these disciples all gather around him, and they look at this guy and they look at Jesus and they go, all right, Jesus, who sinned, this guy or his parents? Which is so I mean, like just think about that, folks. Again, the guy is blind, not deaf. And you think of the rudeness, the hubris, the craziness of that, especially given they had just seen a crowd surround Jesus, getting ready to physically stone him. And here they are essentially stoning someone with their words. They are replicating the exact behavior, just in a different context. So they're doing the exact same thing, just with the context different. And it's interesting watching how Jesus handles this. There's always this danger, folks, and I'm going to get to how Jesus goes at this. There's always this danger in something called essentialism. And you'll see I posted an article on my Facebook page on that. And essentialism is where we take someone and we look at their condition, and we draw real narrow boundaries around it. And we make all kinds of assumptions down to their very core of being, in terms of who they are, why they do what they're doing, all kinds of judgments, etc. I mean, it is really limiting to do that to people. And yet we do it all the time. I do it all the time. We just take this slice, we slap on a label, and we think that describes the person in all facets of their life. Now, are there occasions where it does all match up? Sure. But pretty rarely. Most of the time, it doesn't. And the challenge is when we put people literally in those boxes, it creates a lot of different challenges. And here's Jesus saying, no, you actually have to move beyond the labels. You actually have to move beyond the labels. And how does he go about doing that? Well, we're going to just touch on one little piece today, and then we're going to look at the specifics of how the rest of the story plays out when I join you again on Monday. So this was Jesus's response to their belief that, well, who sinned? This guy or his parents? Jesus goes, neither. This person nor his parents sinned. So he's saying this guy didn't sin. He's guilt-free. He's forgiven, all that good stuff. But this happened so that the work of God might be displayed in his life. Now, when you read that, in one sense, it can come across at first reading, well, that means Jesus inflicted him with blindness so that this guy could somehow figure out, I don't know, something. And that's not really the right reading of it. Jesus is talking about this, and he's looking at these disciples. He's looking at these 12 people gathered around this man who is handicapped himself. He's saying this little tableau, this little picture, this happened so that this guy can understand life, so that we all can understand life, so we can understand how life works. And it's very much the way Jesus kind of, sometimes he directly addresses stuff. A lot of times he does it sort of elliptically, very, very gently. It's kind of like when the people were trying to stone him, he didn't turn around, grab stones, and say, if you come one more step closer, I'm throwing this, or just kept on arguing. No, he just gently left. And it's kind of that same gentleness. It's this gentle twisting of going, like, hey, this gathering here, this tableau, this picture, this scene is about healing. It's a little, folks, and this is a little bit of an aside, like there's lots of places in the Bible that says for the glory of God. And that always sort of struck me as a little odd. Like, why does God need glory? And especially when you look at Jesus, like Jesus never asks people to glorify him per se. And then you look at the definition of the word, and glory has a lot of meanings, one of which is celebration. And I love that idea that a lot of these things are for the celebration of God. And God's celebration is in healing, is in connecting with other people, is in all these best parts of the human experience, the best part of the divine experience, and the best part of how those two come together. Very, very different view there. So what we're going to see next week is we're going to see how Jesus, totally again takes it to this next beautiful step of healing. So please, join us next week again as we keep going with this beautiful story. And for today, just be really careful about labeling, and take a look at that article on essentialism on my Facebook page. Read it. I cringed a little bit when I read it. That was good. I hope you cringe a little bit when you read it, because it really does call us to task for those places where we slap on a label, and then just like these disciples, we think we've got the whole person figured out from soup to nuts. And the reality is we almost never do. So it's about opening up a little more grace for people, moving a little bit beyond the labels to find the humanity that we all share. So that's my thought for today, friends. What we're going to do now is we're going to do a little meditation, a little prayer, a little blessing, and then we'll do a little conversation. If you want to leave a comment, please do. You can do it on New Church Live's Facebook page. I do check both my Facebook page, New Church Live's Facebook page, and the other places we stream for comments. But the ones I'll do live will be off of New Church Live's Facebook page, and we'll do that in a few minutes. So with that, folks, let's all get a big breath. And listen to the bell. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and bring you peace and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends. So now it's time for a little conversation corner. And the way we will do this little conversation corner is if you want to hop on over to New Church Live's Facebook page, wherever you're watching from. I know a lot of you folks watch on a bunch of the different platforms we now have up and going, and you leave a little comment there. I will be able to say something in just a second. There we go. All right, and my apologies. I got really bad allergies this morning, so my apologies for sniffling there. Linda, good morning to you, my friend, and wishing you just a wonderful trip. There you go. Marcus, good morning to you, bud, and super excited actually about this Sunday. It's all coming together well. Sherry, wishing you all a lovely fall weekend. And the leaves have not quite changed out here, but I see a few that are starting. Lynn, great to see you. Good morning to you. Donna, yes, Friday blessings to all. And I like that little, it looks like a little butterfly there. It's beautiful. Patty, good morning to you. And I love, love the picture. Yeah, you loved your little profile pictures. I was getting everything set up of you and that wonderful husband of yours. You guys, of yours, you two sure are cute. Paige, good morning to you, my dear friend. Rick, home and heading home. 40th reunion. Congratulations on your 40th reunion there. Great stuff. Rita, great to see you, my friend, my cooking friend. Hopefully we'll get back to cooking together sometime in the not too crazy distant future. Thanks for spreading the good teachings of Jesus, Chuck. Let's follow. I agree. Mary, you got to take a look at this David Brooks article that I put on my Facebook page. It's just too funny because you just see it so much what Jesus is constantly railing against, this idea of essentialism. Yeah. Oh, Patty saying our anniversary is on Sunday. Patty, happy anniversary to you guys. That is just a 40th reunion and an anniversary. Like that is a fun weekend. All right, dear friends. Well, sure as heck enjoy chatting with you. You know, just a little aside, like after you read that article on essentialism, it talks about how the solution is connection, like big surprise, right? It's connection and community, and how that's not always easy. I want to really thank you folks because uh, this little thing that we do, I think it really matters. You know, I think it really matters out there into the world because as Richard Rohr famously said, you know, the only way to dispute the bad is to practice the better. And I think when we get together and you folks leave little comments and you pray for each other and we get a chance to share, that's a practice, clearly a practice of the better. And who knows where it goes. I just feel like it's a good place to be. So thank you folks so much. God bless. Have a safe, wonderful, terrific weekend filled with reunions and anniversaries and good dinners. And I got a wedding coming on Saturday night, which is a ton of fun. And yeah, hope to see you Sunday at New Church Live at 10:30. And if not, we'll see you again next Monday at our usual time, 8:30 a.m. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.